They dismissed me, and HR was more concerned with silencing me than they were about the safety of my coworkers and for the safety of the public. As we fought to make changes, in the store, they were busy making more empty promises. We got email after email of just completely empty promises, things that they said that they were going to do that took months to deliver. As our state opens back up for business, it's crucial that Caribou workers are fairly compensated for the increased risk to exposure. I mean, we all have seen it in the last few days. I mean, now that they've declared that the state is opening up, people aren't wearing masks. And who is that putting at risk?
Everybody!
That's right, everybody. An additional $1 an hour is not fair compensation to offset the risk to our workers, their families, in a time when our state is buying a $9 million refrigerated building to house victims of this pandemic. I'll keep raising my voice for this fight, for my coworkers that deserve more. They deserve fair working safe working environments and fair hazard pay. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, there's a button. That's good to know. Hi, I'm Lux. I worked at the Caribou Coffee in the Oracle Center downtown for about 2.5 years now. Honestly, on the ground level, I've always loved this job. I have great regulars. Like 85% of our traffic, basically on a given day, is regulars, and they're hilarious, and I love them. Really good bonds with my coworkers. I've always felt like supported by them and by management. And I think maybe that's part of why I kind of was just, I wasn't expecting like a lot, but I was expecting that Caribou Corporate would at least give us like the bare minimum of protection and compensation. And obviously we're here right now, so that hasn't happened. And I'm not quite sure exactly what I was anticipating, but I certainly was not anticipating that people would have to cut up aprons to make rags to keep their store safe. That's my thoughts too. I did not anticipate that stores would be running out of sanitizer. That has never happened at any place I've ever worked at in the service industry. There's not an excuse for that. At my store, we ran out of hand soap, which was really cool. We had to run and buy some of our own. I didn't anticipate that we would have to be using bakery gloves for cash handling. That's not it. That's not how it works. That's just not it. In my humble opinion, workplace safety should not be a DIY project for us. We're working for a huge corporation that has a lot of resources, and we should not be having to take this into our own hands. Sorry, I have to look at this. I thought I had it. I don't. Okay. I certainly didn't anticipate that they would open up a new store in Delano, Minnesota in the middle of a pandemic. That is a new bar, I guess, technically counts as a bar. so anyways, recently I've been looking more into like the corporate structure. You know, who are these people that are deciding to put us in danger and not compensate us? So Caribou Coffee, fun fact, is owned by JAB Holdings, and that is owned by the Ryman family. So I did a little Googling, and you know, just about who they are, where they are, what's their net worth. The most conservative estimate I found was $10 billion. Yeah, $10 billion, and they have $1 an hour to give us for risking our lives. $10 billion, and they won't give us a livable wage. $10 billion, and we don't have a company-wide sick pay going on. There's just not an excuse. We shouldn't have to be out here today, but we are. As a worker pointed out, I think on a Zoom call, we're doing nothing other than holding them to their own standards. They claim to be a corporation that cares, and they need to show it. They have everything they need to show up and do better for us, except for the willingness. And that's why we're here today, and it's really powerful for me to see just how many people showed up and how many people care about us. Today we're taking part of a broader, workers' awakening. I think it's really powerful, and we're giving them that push that they so sorely need to care about other people and to prioritize their workers. I couldn't think of a really good mic drop ending, but I'm done now. Thanks.
All right, let's give it up again for Lux. Yeah, I have to say, when I heard about the situation, I was pretty surprised to hear that Caribou was not giving their workers proper PPE. Like, that should be a necessity for people in the service industry. And everybody deserves sick pay.
Hell yeah!
Especially from someone with a family that's so wealthy. They could easily give their workers that, and yet they don't. That ain't right! Thank you. All right, next we are going to hear from Maggie. So everybody give it up for Maggie.
I'm Maggie. I work at store 134, which is Park Place. I've worked for Caribou for about a year, but prior to that, I worked for Caribou from 2015 to 2016. And I remember when all of this happened, I was sitting at my parents' home in Michigan, and I was praying to God that Caribou would do the right thing and close stores at the very minimum until they could ensure that we would be safe. And I remember just being so heartbroken and frustrated and angry and feeling like I had no hope. And then that's when I saw the petition that was created by one of the workers, and she ended up reaching out to me and told me what was going on and that there was a workers' movement, and you know, we wanted to make changes. And for the first time in like all of this scariness, I felt some hope. And being part of this movement and advocating for myself and my coworkers has been such an empowering thing. Prior to this, you know, I've worked in this industry for 5 years, you know, so I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, but what Caribou is doing to us is nothing short of atrocious. The fact that it took them so long to provide us with masks, and not only that, but they held the rollback of the masks because they wanted to find some way to put the Caribou logo on it, is just ridiculous. That ain't right, you're right! Like, my safety should not be put at risk because you want to brand your masks Caribou Coffee. I recently went back to work, and I have to say I was terrified. And what I saw was about 1/8 of an inch plastic, like, sheets, and that's what they're calling sneeze guards. That's what they're calling sneeze guards that are supposed to protect us and keep us safe. And not only that, but these sneeze guards are actually just, like, taped to the counter. So if you so much as touch them, they fall over. I don't know about you, but I don't feel very safe with that. And so we've already accomplished a lot with this movement. I mean, look at this parking lot. Look at how many people are here. Incredible. But there's still more to accomplish. We need a sick pay policy. It is unacceptable that you pour your blood, sweat, and tears into a company, and then you need to take sick time because you get sick, or your family member gets sick, or something happens, and they say, I'm sorry, you don't have any sick time because you don't work at a store that has a sick time policy, but we can give you 4 hours of PTO to use. That ain't right. That ain't right. So I'm here, you guys are here, I'm so glad you're here with me, and I don't know about you, but I'm going to keep standing here and I'm going to keep screaming at corporate until they do the right thing. Because for too damn long, they have been putting profits over people. But I want to see them put people over profit because we work too damn hard, people. We deserve better and we will get better. But we have to stick together to do that. Thank you guys so much for letting me talk to you.
For coming out to support us today. My name is Noor Abdullawi. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I have been employed at the Tower Glen Caribou Coffee for nearly 3 years and first became an employee of the company in 2014. I'm also a graduating business student at St. Catherine University class of 2020. Of all the aspects of the business world, from accounting to analytics to management, one principle resounds within my soul: corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility can be broken down into 3 categories: people, planet, and profits. This situation revolving around COVID-19 has disillusioned many of us to the realization that at the end of the day, Caribou ultimately puts its profits ahead of everything else. Our world has changed in every way during these unprecedented times. People around the globe are struggling, and those of us who are working in the service industry are included in this struggle. It is well known that most people are only 3 bad months away from financial devastation and ruin. Those in upper-level management, like our CEO, John Butcher, do not have that worry, as they have the financial stability to survive this. He has the luxury to stay at home and self-quarantine without the worry of foreclosure or being unable to pay for bills. For many frontline Caribou workers, this is not an option. I'm a mother of 2 school-aged children who now must remain home for online school for the foreseeable future. My mother was diagnosed with cancer last year and underwent chemo and radiation therapy and has been unable to return to work. Like many undergoing the same illness and treatments, that compromises immunity. I worried immensely for her health and made the difficult decision to stay home for her and my children's sake. I was lucky we had some financial reserves and that my husband works full-time at Whole Foods. So we were okay for a while. But the bills don't stop for a pandemic. And I felt guilty because my Caribou family was left behind because the stores did not close and pay its employees. So I made the difficult decision to come back and help my Caribou family for them and because of my own financial needs. So we made certain demands. Yes, cloth masks have rolled out. Yes, gloves are more readily available. But Caribou has the gall to raise our pay by only 10% for only the month of May? For some, that ain't right. For some employees, this is less than $1. When I work as a supervisor, I make $12.50. And for other shifts, I make $11.50. Do you know what the living wage is in Minneapolis? According to MinneapolisMN.gov, for 2019, it was $16.09 per hour at 2,080 hours per year. We make below a living wage. How is this acceptable? Corporate has failed its most important assets, the frontline workers. On the back of my employee card are the core values that this company was founded on. Commitment to your guests through quality, innovation, and connection. Commitment to your community by being fair and accepting and responsible. And commitment to your team members by developing, recognizing, and listening. We are here to share an extraordinary experience that feeds the soul, and we aspire to be the community place I love. And you did not build this community of guests and teams, we did. I close my statement again this time with the unforgettable words of social activist Mario Savio. There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless we are safe and treated with human dignity, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
From restaurants, from all over the industry, and right now we know that those are cleaning up profits. Cleaning up billions of dollars while we're hurting. And I want y'all to know, look around. Our voices get more and more powerful when they get together. That's why we're here, y'all. Because our voices get more powerful when we get together. Make some noise for that.